Guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday morning, I'm going to just call this. Morning or lunchtime, whenever it is you're going to see it. So I'm actually recording this of Wednesday. It's about 7 p.m, but I'm going to be uploading it tomorrow when you see it. I hope the day is going to treat you well. I hope you're going to look after yourself and, you know, just have a good day. Just have a good... There's enough bad in this world that, you know, for each one of us, have a good day. In this video, we're talking around a really intriguing article that came out, sort of highlighting players that Spurs are kind of into. It sounds like they're going on a date, but they're interested in for the summer moves. There's quite a few different players, different positions, all those sort of things. Maybe a bit more of a clarification on the Santiago Jimenez stuff as well. Seen some conflicting reports about that, so we'll get through it all, chat through it all, and get your opinions like always. Just want to say though, if you're new, give us a little subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let me just talk to you first and foremost about the summer targets. So this is according to Matt Law through the Telegraph. And he put in a list and he said that Conor Gallagher, Santiago Jimenez, Lloyd Kelly, Amadou Onana, Rafinha, Samuel Illing Jr. Okay, so that's the list. So he's got 6 guys on that list. We've got a central midfield, like an 8/10 in Conor Gallagher. You have a number 9 in Jimenez. You have a 6 or... not 6, sorry, a 4. It used to be a 6 in defence, but it's a 4, isn't it? Left centre back of Lloyd Kelly. You've got a 6 in Onana, and then you've got 2 wingers in Rafinha and Samuel Illing Jr. I think let's just take it on face value, those targets first and foremost. So let's not worry about, you know, what we want and things like that. Lloyd Kelly makes a ton of sense. He really does. I mean, you think of a guy that plays left back if needed, but he's a left centre back, a left-footed centre back as well. You know, can defend in space, athletic enough, prem proven, knows, you kind of know what you're going to get, and he's on a free. Players like that are costing what, 20, 25, 30 million, you know, on the market nowadays. So that makes a ton of sense to me, and it's something that we need. Illing Jr. obviously I spoke about yesterday, and Santiago Jimenez I spoke about yesterday. So if you've missed either of those, go back and have a little watch. Don't want to waste your time here, you know. I've watched them in a bit more detail when they're on their own. Onana, I would love Onana as a 6. But you think of the physical makeup of Amadou Onana, big, athletic, covers the ground very well. You know, can do that, as we call it, as attack destroying defender. You know, get stuck in. Not afraid of sort of, you know, not a scrap in terms of, you know, he's met someone down the local park for a scrap, but, you know, someone that, you know, doesn't mind getting scrappy with another team. There's been question marks about his ability to play with the ball, but I think that would just improve. He's such a young player. That would improve. I'm not as worried about that. You can't teach physical gifts. You can't. In the NBA, that's everything, is physical gifts. The guy that can jump the highest, the guy that, you know, is powerful. You look at LeBron James compared to me. In theory, I might be, quote, stronger than LeBron because I can do things in the gym maybe that he wouldn't, but he has basketball strength. I don't. And in football, he has strengths that, you know, you'd find in a Rice or a Rodri. You wouldn't find in a Basuma. Now, is Basuma better on the ball? Yeah, but, you know, I think you can teach Onana to be better on the ball. You can't teach Basuma to grow 4 or 5 inches, put on 30 pounds of weight, you know. So, well, you can teach him that, to be fair. That's kind of like my job as a PT. When I look at sort of Conor Gallagher, we've spoken about him loads. I'm not going to speak too much about him because we speak about him all the time. You know, there's reports that Spurs are still keen. You know, I saw a report from Nizar Kinsella that said that, you know, 50 million would do it. 50 million which should get me Conor Gallagher, all of his family, all of his properties, everything. Like, it should not be anything near that. It should be closer to 30. The guy's got 1 year left as contract. We know they have to sell by June 30th. You know, put it together, you know. And again, the more I've watched Conor Gallagher, I love his energy. I love that he gets stuck in. I love all these things. And you know what? I say this now, he'll probably do something crazy against us in the game tomorrow or today as you watch this. Obviously, happy game day. I'm not... At first this season, I was like, yeah, that would be a nice little move. As the season's gone on, I've sort of drifted from that a little bit as I've watched him a bit more. Rafinha, again, with Rafinha, it's always about the fee. The guy's on 200 grand a week. He'd be ended up, yeah, being our most, he'd be our highest paid player, which I'm not interested in. He should not be at all. They at Barcelona spend what, 70 million on him. They've only had him for a couple of years. They're going to want what, 50 million out of him. No, I wouldn't want him for 50 million. I'd rather just go Eze. I would. You know, there's a guy that's in the Prem right now and a guy that didn't lose his role to a 16-year-old. So the list is decent. And to be fair, if I put it out there, if we got Kelly, Rafinha, Anana, Gallagher and Jimenez, I'd go, oh, do you know what? That squad is really bulked out and it's ready for European football. But you would sit there and go, I think we could do better Gallagher. I think we do better than Jimenez. We could do better than Rafinha. I like the Kelly move because it's free and you know it makes a bit of sense. Left-footed centre-backs up there rare. I like Anana. That's the one I really like. I like Anana. And I know he's not for everyone, by the way. I know he's not. But it's one that I truly, truly like. This other bit came out from the article as well. He was talking about how Spurs are working on two different plans. One is if they finish fourth in the Champions League, and one is if they miss out on Champions League qualification and get Europa League. I think, you know, it's smart, obviously, to have the two schools of thought, one being the Champions League, one being the Europa League. You know, maybe you might go, with the Europa, we're not going to need as many high-profile names because we're going to try and blend in some of like the Burvals, the Donnellys, you know, Mikey Moores even, you know. I guess if it was Champions League, they might go, oh, might be a step too far. And as much as I still want one of them in, well, I've said, if it's not Mikey Moore, well, if it's not Donnelly, I want Mikey Moore. If it's not Mikey Moore, it's Donnelly. And a part of me thinks, could you get both? You know, but for my attitude is try and blend at least one new youngster every single year into the first team. Not to say he's going to start every game, but like, see how Phil Foden's done it. Phil wasn't straight away in the first team. Phil took 5, 10, 15 minutes here and there, and he did it for a couple of years. So you don't have to rush him in and expect, right, Donnelly, you're the main guy, 90 minutes every single week. You don't have to do that with him. And the Europa League might be a really good place to sort of blend him in and say, look, you're going to get European football for half an hour every single week. And if it turns out that he does really well, then you go, here's 60 minutes, here's 70 minutes, you know, and then you can kind of translate that into Premier League football as well through, and also you still got the Carling Cup or the EFL Cup, the FA Cup, you know, you can start to, you know, have that balance of a guy that can play all these different positions and all these different, you know, competitions. So it makes a ton of sense. I'm not shocked by that article, and I quite like the fact they have planned for both. It's not to say, oh, they've just given up on top four and they're already planning that they might get fifth. It's not that. What I'm saying is I'd rather them be prepared. Be prepared. Don't fail. Not prepared. You go into the summer and going, crikey, we're not going to spend as much. We need to do this. We need. We haven't planned for this. Let's be smart about it. Get it all planned. If it's Europa League, fine. If it's Champions League, fine. But what I also don't want is it to become sort of mid-July and us go, God, we've only signed one player. Yeah, I know there's sort of international football on this summer, but you thought we might have, you know, signed at least a few players. You know, that I'd want people in before pre-season if ideally, but if not the tour. Who that be, I don't know. But that list is interesting. I think there's more that you can add to that list, like a Nico Williams, like an Eberechi Eze. Yeah. I don't know. That list is a bit slightly underwhelming. It's all right, but slightly underwhelming, if I'm honest. But we shall see. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I hope you did enjoy. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section your thoughts and feelings about that list, who you'd want, who you wouldn't want, why, all that stuff. You know, let me know your thoughts, feelings, obviously. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification for more. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.